Good evening from London. This is Dr. Dermot Hudson, the chairman of the Korean Friendship Association of the UK and chairman of the British Group for the Study of the Jukcha Dia. And also I'm a member of the New Communist Party and a member of the International Ukraine Anti-Fascist Solidarity. I'm responding to the question put by my friends at Points News about the situation in the UK. And of course, it is a very bad situation here. Even as I'm speaking, there is disorder and rioting taking place in some parts of the UK. The past 7 days have been traumatic in some areas. We've seen a police station burnt down in Sunderland. We've seen a library attacked and burnt down in Liverpool. And I would ask what sort of people burn down a library? What is the mentality of these people? So it is a very bad situation. And we can point fingers of blame at different organizations, different individuals, but I think ultimately the ultimate underlying cause of the so-called protests, to me, they're more like riots and disturbances. They're not protests that have happened and are happening. Are really poverty and urban decay, lack of job opportunities, etc. And you can see many of the areas that have been worst afflicted by these riots, these incidents, are areas of high unemployment. Certain elements have exploited grievances and frustrations, and they have turned the anger of ordinary people onto different national minorities and people with different religious views. That is what has happened. It is difficult to resolve the problems within the framework of the existing system and the present government policy. The policies of the new Labour government, the regime of Keir Starmer, are very disappointing, to say the least. Only a few weeks after taking power, they decided to institute spending cuts, and I think this is a very bad thing. But those people who've taken to the streets are not helping. They are just trashing and destroying their own communities. And the other day, I went on a long walk through certain suburban areas of London, very leafy, very posh, and there was no sign of trouble in these areas. It's only poor working class communities that are getting affected by this and will suffer even more because of these riots. As for trying to prevent such riots, well, the government called an emergency meeting of its COBRA committee, its Civil Contingencies Committee, and decided on various measures. I've seen many comments on social media calling for the deployment of the army, and I believe the Scottish government, because in Britain we have a devolved government, there is a Scottish government with some powers, has also called for the army to be used. I do not think this would be a good idea. I think it would further inflame the situation. I think also elements in the British Army may well side with the rioters, and also those forces behind the rioters may be looking for martyrs to further inflame the situation. I think the only ways we can resolve these situations, I mean, first of all, by making sure that there's the truth about the murders at Southport is known, because there was false reports were circulated about that, which greatly inflamed the situation and which turned out to be not true. But in the long term, what needs to be done is government policies need to be changed, and there has to be investment in the poorer areas of the UK. There needs to be more jobs, there needs to be better housing, the issue of urban decay needs to be addressed, all these things. And that will eliminate the basis for riots, and will deal with the grievances of ordinary people. That's all I've got to say on the subject. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Good evening to you all.